HHN 2025 Hollywood. This was our 5th year at the event.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like a milestone, I feel.
It is.
And probably I won't spoil it, actually. I'll get to the thoughts later.
Ooh, okay, yeah, save
I
that.
almost jumped the gun.
Well, before we make any big proclamations about the year, I did want to quickly say, Halloween Horror Nights is amazing. It's in Hollywood and Orlando. We went to Hollywood this past year. It's more than just the houses. The event itself is amazing, and I thought we'd just quickly touch on some of those things. There are scare zones. We got to try some fun food themed to the event. We got some merch. Mark, did you want to quickly talk about... I've been telling people... Mark and I, usually because we go on like the fancy tours and stuff, they don't let you stop to get the themed food. And this year, Mark and I kind of did our own thing. We were at the event for a couple nights, and one night we were like, let's ditch these rich fucks, and let's just do the event on our own. And that way we can stop and go to these different food booths and shit. So Mark and I got to go to the Fallout food booth, and I got to tell you, the food of the event for me was the loaded cram fries. I've been telling everybody about these fucking fries.
I knew you'd bring up those fries.
Dude, I'm bringing them up.
They were amazing. I would say, you know what I would describe it as? It's kind of like a loaded baked potato.
Yes.
But in like fries form.
But in fry form,
dude,
yeah.
That shit was delicious, man.
It was
God damn.
These big, unruly, like rustic fucking steak fries covered in like a fondue cheese with like this teriyaki spiced fried spam, green onions, fresh like fried onion strips. It sounds gross. Like if I list the components out to you, like I know people are going to hear the word spam and they're going to be like, fuck you. I'm telling you, the loaded cram fries at Fallout, eat them. They're fantastic.
They were amazing, dude. That was and also the spam theme goes really well with that Fallout.
Yes.
With the counter they had there, and they had all like the posters and stuff. It was very cool. I think I got like a brisket / burger.
Yes.
That was really good too. It did not top what you got. That was like probably the best tasting thing I've ever had at like a theme park.
Dude,
that was insanely good.
It was so good. And then the other fun thing we did food-wise, or drinks-wise rather, was Mark and I went to the Slash Bar. Now, this is not a slasher-themed bar. I'm talking about Slash from goddamn Guns N' Roses has a bar at Horror Nights.
Dude, it's so weird.
So random. And Mark and I got to go. The first night we were there, we were like, let's go up to the Slash Bar and get a drink. And it was really fun up there, man. It was really fun.
It was nice. That was probably the sugariest drink I had. It has like, it's basically a Coke with extra syrup, and then they put like, in the photo, you think it's just like a gummy worm. This thing is like coiled. It's super long.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Matt somehow got decapitated.
Yeah, mine got beheaded.
On the floor.
It was fucking sad, dude. It felt like a threat.
That actually saved a year of your life and one of your feet. That shit was so sweet.
It was a blessing in disguise. The lady saw me, the cashier, the bartender, and she was like, he's fat enough. Remove the head from this serpent before he consumes it.
It's like Conan and Conan the Barbarian.
Yes. To hear the lamentations of the women. So those were the fun. Those were the two food things that Mark and I got to do themed to the event. If you're at the event, definitely visit the Slash Bar. It's a lot of fun. And also, I know it was like the only thing we ate, but I gotta tell you, that Fallout food was fantastic. Usually, themed food at the event is not that good. This is on another level, like legitimately good. Like, I have been dreaming of those fucking cram fries since I got home, and I want to try and remake them here.
Well, the cool thing is they're appropriately themed. Ever go to one of these, and it's just a standard dish, and there's nothing to theme it together. Yes. So it's just like you're ordering a plain dish that has a cool name. Although I was a bit afraid to get those rad roach legs. Is that what they were called?
Right? Oh yeah, the rad roach legs. They were like barbecue turkey legs because
but they made them like that weird roach brown. Oh!
Yes, it looked also super messy. Mark was like, I'm not fucking with that. There was one other thing that I wanted to try. We didn't eat the Freddy Fazbear pizza. That just looked like a plain theme park pizza. They were trying to fucking give those away. Remember we were at the store? They were like, 2 lines. If you want the pizza, go to the left line. If you want anything else, go to the right. And dude, the pizzas were all not even under a warmer. They were all on a fucking shelf, and they were handing them out to people as they walked in. And I was like, I don't want that fucking pizza.
Can I spoil one thing though, pizza wise?
Oh,
Dude,
yes, it wasn't at the event,
Rocco's
but yeah.
Pizza. I know it's not at the event, but Rocco's Pizza fucking rules.
Mark and I went to a place called Rocco's Family Pizzeria, and it was like a small New Jersey family pizzeria in the middle of Wilshire Boulevard for some reason. I don't know
Dude,
how
it
this
was in a
happened.
weird location.
We showed up
Was
there.
it next to like elderly toilets?
An elderly toilet store. This is not a joke. An elderly toilet store. And you go to Rocco. Let me tell you, the secret is out because Rocco's Family Pizzeria was some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And to make it even better and more charming and amazing, we were walking in and they had all decorated for Halloween. So it really went
Like
with our
legit.
HHN trip. Like we ate in a fake graveyard with skeletons and shit. And we had the best goddamn pizza and garlic knots. Shout out to Rocco's Family Pizzeria. Good call, man.
I think you sat next to like a severed zombie.
I did, yeah. I had lunch next to a severed head. It was great. So if you're in LA proper, go down to Rocco's Family Pizzeria. Tell them Matt and Mark sent you. They're not going to know who we are. But you just be like, do you remember two weirdos who showed up here about 10 days ago? They ate everything. They ate too much. That was them. We ate a meat lover's pizza and then we left. We left gassier and hurting.
That was so much fun. Holy shit.
Mark, back to
Do
the
you
event,
feel-
though. Back to the event. Did you want to talk about scare zones quickly?
Can I be completely honest?
Yes.
Outside of that, I'm totally gonna butcher this. Hold on, I wrote it down. What was
Yes.
it called? The something de brujas, the Noche de Brujas.
Noche de Brujas. I like how Mark says
Noche
it.
de Brujas.
Noche de Brujas.
I felt that overshadowed the other ones to such a degree that it felt like the other ones had no kind of theme to them.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
They are
Hollywood is not gifted in scare zones in the way that Orlando is, where like Orlando has dedicated a scare zone is an area outside. It's not a haunted house, but it may as well be. That is an area you walk through that is totally themed, and it's basically like a haunted house outside. And they
it's
are
like an open
Yes.
plan house.
open air house. They are, and Orlando is like rich with them. Hollywood has one every year, and the other ones they call scare zones are just performers walking around the park.
Yeah.
But this, if you're keeping track, this was the same scare zone that we were in last year for the luchadors, the Mexican wrestler monsters. So again, this year they just themed it to these Mexican witches, the brujas, and it was really
awesome.
fun. It's always a blast. I wish the park would do more scare zones like this because it just shows
Yeah.
you. Mark and I always kill like an hour. We always wind up hanging out in this scare zone, just having fun watching the characters and scare actors fuck with people because it's a blast, man. I wish they had more of these in the park. I really do.
Doesn't it also feel like in that particular zone, that's where all their like top tier scare
Yes.
actors are?
100%.
And there's like, by the way, people should know that there's a bunch of them. So if you had a bad run through a house, it's good to decompress in that area because somebody's gonna get you eventually. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a good bit of advice. Yeah, especially if you have a bad run. Also, too, if you're killing time or you're waiting for somebody in the park and you happen to be on the upper lot, I would just hang out here like all night. Like if I had to meet somebody,
Yes.
I would just meet them here. It's on French Street is where it is if you know the park at all. So go stop at the Noche de Brujas. Tell them that Matt and Mark sent you. They're not going to know who we are. They're not going to know who we
We're
are.
the two guys that were standing around watching for a very long time.
They did assault us many times, the witches. They wanted to kill us and crush our bones and make us into bone marrow like the Waymos do.
I think what's cool about that area too is if you do stand in it, it feels like they appreciate you watching.
Yes.
So they'll always just kind of mess with you, which is really fun. it's like you're bound to have some sort of interactive experience if you hang out there enough.
Yes, absolutely. And shout out to all the scare actors who were playing the brujas. They were like, every actor in that zone fucking brings it. They get right in your face. They target you. This year, the witches had like long fingers. Some of them had these like staffs with like skulls and shit on them. Another witch had
Yeah.
a knife for no reason. She was trying to stab Mark in the face. It was fucking hilarious, man. So good.
Best masks too. Like the mask design in that
Yes.
area, they look so goddamn real.
Yes, they
Fucking
reminded me a lot
amazing.
of the it was like a combination of some shit you would see from Conan the Barbarian and also like Army of Darkness, like the Deadites.
Oh yeah.
It kind of reminded
Oh
me of
yeah.
that a
Army
little
of
bit.
Darkness, 100% agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's
Um,
like top quality.
Mark, any other opening thoughts about the event at all before we dive into the houses? Do you have anything you want to call out? Any gripes, even anything like that?
The only gripe I would have, and I kind of feel I think you and I discussed this, and it's sort of in the not in the park's interest, but I felt like there was just way too many kids running around.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as much as I love this event, do you want me to, should I give an overview of what I thought of the event, positive or
Sure.
negative, or
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, man.
because I would just say that even though I'm complaining about the sheer amount of kids that were there, and like, I'm not talking about like well-behaved kids. These are kids that were just like giving the scare actors shit for no reason, yelling in their
Yeah.
faces, pretending to be tough. It was just like they took people out of the experience because it has to be this back and forth with the scare actors, and it kind of gets everyone in the mood. But if you have one person just trying to act tough, it just ruins it. It's like, oh God, why are you even fucking here?
Yeah, I
Get out of
agree.
the goddamn park. But
I
I would
agree.
say
Fuck them
every year
kids.
it gets better and better, though. The event itself is always improving over time. But
I would
goddamn,
agree
they got
with
to get
that.
rid of those stupid ass kids.
I would agree with that. I would also double down. I agree with everything Mark said, so I won't regurgitate it. But I would also add to that to up the ante. I think Hollywood needs to seriously consider banning phones in the houses. I think
Yes.
there are too many goddamn phones at the event now. I won't turn this into a bitch fest, but I'll just say I had some great runs, but some of the worst runs in houses I had were because I was sandwiched between people who were looking at the fucking haunted house, the haunted house, the whole haunted house through their phone to make crappy TikToks and Snapchats and shit that nobody's gonna watch. So, I really, really think Orlando will not let you film in the houses, and I think Hollywood needs to seriously adopt that rule.
I think if enough people complain, they will. Because think about it this way. Like Matt and I have no problem if someone's just got like a mini cam on there and
That's
there's no
fine.
like screen.
That's
As
fine.
soon as someone pulls out like people, there's like some people that had like gimbals with the big
Yes.
screen, and you're standing behind them, and it's just like I can't. How am I supposed to get into this if there's like just a guy just and they're not even experiencing them? They're kind of ruining it for themselves because they're really not experiencing it. They're just
Yeah.
staring at the screen for composition. So it's
Yeah.
like, who are you? Why is this even a thing that's allowed? It's like, who gives a shit? I
Yeah.
feel
It
as though
sucks.
also it's like by allowing that, all it shows is like the worst parts of a walkthrough because it's like it's not media day, it's already
Yeah.
crowded. There's like other people around. It just makes it look cluttered.
Yeah.
And it
Absolutely.
brightens up the area too. So you don't even get that like the scare from it being dark. You're just seeing this bright ass screen in front of your fucking
And
face.
they're probably not even shooting the houses correctly. So, like, you're going from low light to those strobes. I guarantee you that video looks like crap. Like, you know what I mean? At least the people at Media Day, the content creators at a Media Day, know how to shoot those houses, or they have nice cameras. They're not walking around with an iPhone. They're actually shooting with, like, a Sony, whatever, like, with the fucking
Yeah.
giant microphone muff on the front. Like, those people know what they're doing. If they're dealing with f-stops, they know what they're doing. If you're a creator with your phone and a selfie stick, get the fuck out of here. That's what I think.
I
Okay,
100% agree.
there you go. Our two major gripes: too many kids, fuck them kids; too many cell phones, fuck them cell phones. We want both out. I will also double down on something that my buddies laid out here. I think this might be one of the strongest events in the year's history because when I tell you We ranked the houses. Mark and I have not revealed each other the rankings to each other. We're going in reverse order from 9 to 1. The like bottom 3 I kind of knew going in, and in fact those didn't change. My 6 through 1 changed about 20 goddamn times since we've spoken.
I think at some point I did the same as you. I just had to be okay with what I put down.
Yes, I just had to commit. At a certain point, you just have to commit. So this is how we're going to do it. Mark and I are going to rank the houses. With each house, we're going to tell you, just in case, we're going to give you a brief summary of what the house is about. I'll read it directly from the HHN site. Video people, YouTube, you'll be able to see the art on the screen. We'll rank the houses, starting from 9, going down to 1. Dude, you want to get started with this?
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Because I have a feeling that our number 9 is. I think we probably have the same number 9. I don't want to. I don't want to be presumptuous and assume, but I'm prepping the art here in the background, as you can tell. But I have a feeling we have the same number 9. Do you want to reveal, Mark, what your number 9 house of the year was?
All right, so number 9 for me, and I'm sincerely hoping we share the same one, is it has to be Jason.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, Jason Universe. I feel, you know what the crazy thing is? If I recall correctly, when we had conversations before, we were super excited about this one because the last HHN, they did one for Texas Chainsaw, and that was really well done.
Yes.
So it shows that they know what they're doing when it comes to these like compilation houses. And this one just kind of like failed on every level. There was no variety with the Jasons. The set design was terrible. There was one funny thing where it was just an influencer getting his throat slit on an iPad. But outside of that, it's like it felt like it was missing characters. It wasn't as populated as some of these other houses. And the first time we went through, there was a scene that was supposed to play out, and it just didn't even play out. So
yeah,
and so we went through this twice, right?
Yes. And wait, we
Both
should say really
sucked.
quick. Jason Universe. Here is the plot. The iconic horror villain Jason Voorhees is coming for you. Step into his terrifying world, from his sinister shack in the woods to the summer camp where it all began. And I am here to tell you, we witnessed none of that. We witnessed none of that. Mark is right. I think this, at first I thought this was just, every year you have that house where you have a bad run, where you're like, oh, for whatever reason, I went through, every time I go through, there's never any scare actors, or there are whole scenes missing, or people are telling you how amazing they think a house is. This was like the year of the Chupacabra, where everybody was raving about that fucking house, and Mark and I went through, and it was like the worst run of the night. There were no actors. Everybody was clearly like on a fucking 15-minute break. And we went through Chupacabra, dude. There may as well have been no one in there. Like, it may as well have been the last run of the night. Like, you would have thought no one was there at the park. And that was the deal here, dude. We went through Jason Universe the first time, and it was barren. There were maybe 3 Jasons. Like, I could tell we were missing big effects, big moments. And then Mark and I did it again, and we were like, well, hopefully, let's give it a fair shot now. We're going at prime time. The event, tons of people are here. And they did have more Jasons. We got to see a scene completed that we totally missed. Like that run, that first run, there's supposed to be a scene that mimics, I only know it because I know it from the scene in part 2, where he's trying to kill the girl through the car. He's trying to stab her through the roof of the car. That is clearly supposed to be happening. Her car is parked right there. It's like a red Volkswagen Bug. It's like a Beetle.
Yeah, it's like basically the same car, right?
Same exact car. So it's definitely her. And what I think the idea is that they can put in any Jason they want. Like, oh, we'll put a victim and we can get one, because it's pulling from all these Jasons from 1 through 8. So you can put any Jason there. So maybe you won't get Baghead Jason from 2. Maybe you'll get Jason from 6 or Jason from 4. No, dude, we just never got anybody. There wasn't even a girl in the car. It was just, we walked by an empty scene with an empty VW Bug and nothing happening in the middle of the woods, and it made no sense. There were scenes where it was like,
God,
look at this
terrible.
hockey mask. And there was supposed to be like effects showing you the Jason, I believe from Jason Lives from part 6, where he's getting resurrected and he's going to rise out of the grave. It was just these lighting effects on the hockey mask and nothing happened.
It just, you know what it felt like? Didn't it feel like one of those really bad toy store displays around Halloween where like, this is the no Jason mask. and they
Dude.
just have it there on like a pedestal, but it's just nothing themed around it.
Yes.
It felt like really. The other thing too is like they have so many different versions of Jason to pull from. I feel as though they only did like maybe two.
Yeah, I agree. I kept waiting to see like, let's see the submerged Jason from Jason Takes Manhattan, or
Yeah.
let's see Baghead Jason, or let's see like the fucking crazy ass like gnarly zombie Jason from Jason Lives. We didn't see any of that shit. Like, I felt like we kept getting regular Jason from maybe like three or four. We saw a couple of those, but that was it. I'm here to tell you, the scenic and special effects at Rocco's Family Pizzeria is better than Jason Universe. They have more effects and shit at their pizzeria than this maze has.
And it's more well thought out, and it's great pizza.
Yes. And I also thought,
But
too, the Jasons we got were also, like, very lacking in energy. Like, they weren't... No Jason was coming for us, right? I hear these
yeah, there was
stories...
that one guy that looked like vegan Jason. He was tall, but he looked so skinny. It was just like, dude, you gotta eat something, motherfucker. This guy's supposed to be.
You gotta
big
go to
and
Rocco's Family
stabbing people and
Pizzeria.
shit.
Eat that fucking meat lover's pie, man. Get yourself some cram fries at the Fallout booth. Yeah, I thought this was a big dud, and no surprise, you may hear it pop up later when we give our awards for houses at the end of the show. What award it gets? Well, if you've been around, you might know. Mark, any other final thoughts on Jason Universe? Like, I don't even begin to know. I remember like stupid shit, like, because there are things I can remember from the other mazes in this list so clearly, and this one I just remember I remember all the bad, the empty car, the lame hockey mask with no effect, walking through the woods of Camp Crystal Lake, just
Dude, that felt like
trees.
forever.
I kept
Yeah.
waiting for a Jason to pop
There's
out, and
nothing.
no one.
There's not even scenics in between the trees.
Yes.
It's just like they had like a black background, and like I guess they got these fucking fake trees on
Yes.
bulk because they're just like, let's use all our trees. But there was like, here's the thing too, is like there's so many other Jason movies that they could pull from to like have this transition from the cabin to other sets. Like you can even go to space if you want, which would have been fucking
Yes, that would have
awesome.
been great. Or Jason
they
from
just
Jason
were
Goes
like-
to Hell,
Yeah.
where he's coming out
Yeah.
with all the worms and shit.
Dude, that would have been amazing. And he would
Yeah.
have made for some cool mask designs. But it was like, I would hear, okay, this is what I would tell people. Even if you're a huge Jason fan, you're guaranteed to be disappointed. So if you don't have a fast pass and there's nothing else, and there's other things that you see, just skip Jason. You'll be complete. You're not missing a thing.
Yes,
Even
I
if
would
you're
argue, yeah.
the biggest fan of Jason, please avoid this. You'll just wind up being disappointed by it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's both of our number nines. Jason Universe, sadly, not good. Not good. It's a bunch of poop is what it is.
If they put a shit in there, it would have more of an impact.
It would. All right, let's see. Mark, do you want to go to our number 8? I also feel like we might have the same number 8, so let me go ahead and get that art prepped, because I have a feeling I will be very surprised. But if you want, since you announced number 9, I'll announce number 8. You can tell me if we have the same number 8.
Okay.
My number 8 for this year is going to be the Terror Tram.
Oh, interesting.
The Terror Tram is my number 8. I will tell you why. It's mostly because I'm tired of it. Let me tell people what this is. The Terror Tram enter the Blumhouse. The most terrifying Blumhouse villains of the past 15 years are taking over. Face the Grabber, Beyond the Grave, a lethal Megan, and more. And I'm here to tell you, I'm sick of each of these people. I'm so... Every year in Hollywood, we get a Terror Tram the last couple of years. And last year, they literally did the same exact thing. They did a Terror Tram with Blumhouse. And as fun as it is, you know, the Terror Tram takes you all through the back lot. So you get to walk through the set of War of the Worlds. You get to go through all these outdoor venues. It is kind of fun. It feels like a haunted hayride, but without the hayride, right? You're walking around outside.
Yeah.
You're walking through these different... Here's a Megan barn. It's like these barns. Here's a Grabber barn. Now you're walking through these Insidious stuff. I have fun, but I'm just for sheer lack of creativity, in my opinion, I'm gonna give Terror Tram an 8. They literally just repeated the shit from last. Even the Megan moments weren't new. I expected to see
Yeah.
like a Megan from Megan 2.0 with like the pink armor and shit and the cyberpunk shit, and she was gonna be. It was the same Megan from the first. I'm like, the first movie's not even
Yeah,
relevant
you're
anymore.
totally right.
Jesus.
There's all those other characters too from the second movie that they could have included and didn't. Oh, the other thing too is like the one part I don't the biggest problem I have with it, although it's not my 8, it's a huge time sink. Like it takes
Yes.
so long to do that section. Every time we're on the tour, I'm like, I kind of wish they did it last so we could just be like, can we just not do this, please?
Yeah.
But the one thing I hate is like, so after you go through the main entrance where, by the way, they made it, actually this is the one where they fucked it up at the beginning, because at the beginning they kind of like stop groups so that these, when you get to the entrance, all the scare actors, they just come out of nowhere with chainsaws and they kind of assault you. They screwed it up. They made everyone just keep going through and it had no impact.
We
And then
missed
you
the
go through this,
intro.
yeah,
Yes.
and then you have to go through this other zone where it's just like these like open sections of houses. There's like barely any set decoration, and it just has one actor pressing a button for lines, and you're just like, this is really lazy.
Oh my god, and the audio cues were really redundant in this one, especially the grabber, where it was like, hell freezes over. Nothing burns like the cold. He said the same shit in the span of like 30 seconds. I was just trying to walk through the barn. I heard the same soundbite, I want to say like 60 times. It just got drilled into my
Yeah.
head.
It gets like, yeah, you're right. It's just, and they play it too quickly. So it's
Too
just like,
much. Way too much. Yeah.
the other thing too is, okay, Black Phone 2 is coming out. It's a whole open area. They could have made it look like that scene from the trailer where in that iced lake or stream where
Yes.
they're all skating. And they could have had these grabbers coming out of the wood. They clearly have a lot of fucking logs that they bought. Like they could have done something easy like that instead of trying to do. I think they try to do too much. But I will say, the one thing I liked about it is they did improve the purge section like significantly.
Yeah.
So
Those
that
purge
kind of like
actors bring
bumped
it.
it up a little bit.
The
Yeah.
purge, and listen, all my problem is not with the scare actors. The scare actors are doing great in the Terror Tram. It's just I'm tired of the same shit. If next year Mark and I are going to try to go to Orlando, but if next year if I see that Hollywood has repeated the same Blumhouse Terror Tram, I don't know when I'll return, because I'm like, guys, I don't know what's happening out there. I've had enough. I've had enough Terror Tram. Mark, all right,
I feel like
what's your number 8
oh,
then? If
my
that's not your
8
number
was
8.
Poltergeist.
Oh, shiznit. Here, let me get the
And
art up here. There we go.
oh, I'll let you read the
Oh, the
description.
official description for Poltergeist. Spirits will lure you through the TV's glowing whisper into a surreal landscape where you'll be menaced by the rage-fueled beast. There you go. Halloween Horror Nights,
So
Poltergeist.
I think the reason why I gave it 8 is because the Terror Tram, at least they improved that purge section. But this is something Matt brought up to me on the first walkthrough, and I didn't notice it as much. He was like, did you notice there are a lot of the transition hallways are just all black and there's nothing? It's just black sheets. And the second time we went through, I was like, holy shit, Matt's totally right. It's like you'll get one nice set at the beginning. The
Yep.
entrance is pretty cool. Although the second time they couldn't even bother cleaning up the garbage that these dumbass guests threw. There's like fucking cans on the floor, which
Yeah, there was like a can of Monster Energy drink next to Carol Ann at the TV. I was like, Carol Ann doesn't drink Monster Energy drink. She went through the portal and got a Monster Energy drink. Also, didn't the second time we go through the Poltergeist house, didn't it smell like weed?
yeah, it did. It's like that, and whoever had that Monster Energy just like smoked a blunt in there. And by the way, that's like a really nice set piece because you have the girl at the TV. It's
Yes.
on. It's a pretty big living room. They've got a window. It's nicely done. Then once you get past that, it's just like dark hallway, and you think something's going to happen, but there's really nothing in there. And if you're supposed to follow the TV glow, they could have just bought some old TVs and put a flashing light behind it. But instead, all it is just like a spotlight that burns your eyeballs and nothing happens. So all you do is you're going through these like really dark, completely black clothed hallways. You're getting blinded. and then and like I said, there's not even a section for, you know how sometimes they have those like clearly cordoned areas off where, a scare actor can pop out. There,
Yes.
in these hallways, it's just like you'll go this way, then you'll make a right, and then it's a really long corridor. There's no one around, and then you make a left, and there's like another long corridor, and it's like you basically just walked around and nothing happened. There's no sound cues.
Yes.
It's just like you
There
getting
are there are
blinded by
two
a
weird
light.
sections like that in Poltergeist where you're like definitely going around a corner and you're like, "Oh, I'm going around a corner. Something's going to be waiting for me." And it's just more black walls.
Yeah, it's sad. But the one thing is, though, it does end strong. And I actually struggled with 7 and 8 because that coffin room, the first time we went through, was like, it was populated. Like
Oh
every
yeah.
coffin had someone in it. And they kept fooling us because some of them were dummies and you couldn't tell. And I think Matt got hit like 4 times. It was
Dude,
really cool.
I'm going to tell you I can go ahead and do this. It's the reason it's my number 7 and not my number 8 is
Oh,
because of that coffin room. My number 7 is Poltergeist. Because of that coffin room. And I love Poltergeist. We've even look, shout out to we did a whole Poltergeist episode where we just like hung out and just nerded out about that movie. Go check that out if you want. But I love Poltergeist. Legitimately one of my favorite movies. And I had a lot of expectation because for a lot of people who go to the event a lot, this is not a new house. So it's a repeat for them. The odds are already against it. For Mark and I, it's brand new. So my expectations were through the roof because it's known as a legendary house at the event. People are like, Poltergeist is fucking crazy, dude. Wait till you go through it. And man, I gotta tell you, the first time we went through, we had a good run. The subsequent times, I think we went 2 more times. I think we did Poltergeist like 3 times, I want to say, maybe more. It kept
maybe
getting
around that.
it kept
Yeah.
getting worse. At each
Yeah.
run
It got
kept
less
getting
popular.
worse. Yes, where it was like first it was like the weed and the Monster Energy drink, right? Then it was like the conga line of people and it was like all phones. Then it was like the little kids. That's the house Mark was talking about where the little kids were talking shit to the scare actors, throwing them off their game to the point where the scare actors didn't even want to come out or turn or do their cues because these little dickhead kids behind us were ruining it for everybody. But the one thing, this is why I'm giving it number 7. The one thing that kept going strong every run was that coffin room. There's a final run that mimics the end of the movie where, Joe Beth Williams is in the pool and all the fucking coffins and dead bodies and skeletons start rising to the top, right? So at the end of the Poltergeist maze, after you've seen the TV and they're here, you've seen all that, right? You've seen the beast, right? There's a bit where you walk through these open coffins. And I'm talking, it gets claustrophobic because there are coffins on both sides of you. And every coffin is open. And every coffin has a decayed corpse inside of it. And as Mark said, some of them are dummies and some of them are real. And I never knew. And Mark was right. I feel like that first run, every single one was a real person and they all got me. But every run, I would always get 3 or 4 scares in that coffin room alone, and it was some of my most fun at the event. I'm divorcing that coffin room from the rest of the house, because I agree with Mark. The black walls are... Dude, what's haunting the Poltergeist house? Black walls. That's what's haunting it. With no set design, no scenic, no effects. Fuck that shit. It's lazy. I don't think this should be a legendary house. I think this was chatted up and talked way out of its league, in my opinion. But that coffin room is something special, and it was one of my favorite things
Yeah.
at the event. That's why it's my number 7.
Well, can I say another reason why I have
Yes.
Poltergeist lower? I think it's also because, the two houses I feel we were most excited about were Poltergeist and Jason.
Yes. Yeah.
And they kind of like, especially Poltergeist, they just bombed. So that's one of the reasons. Otherwise, I think Matt and I would have a very similar bottom 3. It's just
Yeah.
like, I think the anticipation of also coming off of that episode and just seeing how awesome that movie is, and then seeing how sparse it was populated for set design. When you have like a lot to pull from the movie, there's really like no excuse, to be honest. Not to sound like a total ass clown, but
No, it's true,
it
though.
feels like there's like, especially if it's this legendary one and you're bringing it back, that's the moment to update it. And I think you had said this too. It just felt like they brought this house back, but it felt like it was something that was from way back when. It's like nothing really was updated, and
Yes.
as a result of that and the lack of detail, you just get these stupid empty hallways, which are like very disappointing.
I also think there may have been a likeness issue with like, because I was like, well, where's the dad? Where's Joe Beth Williams? Where's Zelda? Where's this house is clean? Like, we hear her throughout the house, and I kept waiting for a part where this little person would run out and do this bit, and it never happened. Then it started to occur to me, I'm like, why are we featuring? I know the scientist guy getting his face ripped off is like a classic scene, but that guy is
Yeah.
such a small part of the movie, and he's in like 3 scenes in the house. Like they do a steak bit with him where he's watching the steak. They do the bit at the mirror, and he's in another bit, and I'm like, why are we worrying about this random guy? Like, where's the dad? Where's Joe Beth Williams? Right? I wonder if there's a likeness issue and they can't like
You
represent
think
these
so?
characters. I think so. I feel
But they
like,
could
don't you
just
feel
put
like they should be in there, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. Like it felt like there were more monsters than the people in the house, which
Yes.
kind of like, I think you need that balance to make it scary. So it's because if it's monster after monster after monster, then it gets kind of redundant. You kind of have to fill it in with other characters to like
Yes.
break it up,
Yeah.
which they could have done in the goddamn hallways. By the
Mark,
way, those hallways could have just been like photos of the family and some wallpaper and like a couple
agreed.
of doors, you know?
Well, I was going to say,
That
I was
doesn't
like,
take that much money,
did we see?
Universal.
Oh, we did see the little brother with the clown. He sneaks him out of the bed for a second,
Yeah.
but it is
But
so
you
quick.
know why? By the way, you know why you forgot? Because the 3 other times we went, they didn't even spring the guy coming out
Oh,
from the
yes.
bed.
The
It
effect
just
didn't come
ended.
out. Yes,
You
that's
got
right.
scared by the book or the shelving that
That's right. I walked by looking for the clown to pop out of the bed, and the fucking shelf almost fell on me, and that's what made me laugh. Fucking ridiculous.
That
Um,
was terrible.
Mark, what's your number 7?
Ooh, my 7 was Terror Tram.
I
And
suspected
I
as
put
much.
in my note, I put new addition to Purge was a huge improvement. So that kind of pushed it over the edge because they added black light. There were more characters. They added lighting inside the airplane, which I thought was really cool.
Yep.
So it actually felt more interactive, and it kind of took away the War of the Worlds feel that it always had, and it made it more unique. So just for that little bit, I gave it a bump up. But to be honest, when you talk about the time sink and the ratio of good to bad, I feel as though Terror Tram easily could have been my 8. But the anticipation for Poltergeist, I think it made me a
Is
little
what knocked
harsher
it
on
down a whole peg
Yeah.
because you wanted it to be so awesome.
Because it's a movie that has physical effects. It's like
Yes.
this should be a fucking banger, you
It
know?
yeah, it should have been an easy home run, and it just wasn't,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Because
All
I mean,
right.
it's like don't you feel as though after 5 years we can actually judge the consistency and their capability of what they can do with these houses? You know?
Yes, absolutely, dude. And I think there are movies that are represented in houses this year that are not physical effects movies that do physical effects better than the Poltergeist house.
Oh yeah.
So I think that Poltergeist house, it was so funny. It was like, usually it was like you know what? I'll even give Jason this credit. At least Jason got better on its subsequent runs. Each run we did of Jason, the house improved nominally, very, very little, very little, a small amount. But Poltergeist was the opposite. It was like every time we went through the house, it got worse and worse.
Yeah.
By the last time we went through, I think this was the night where I turned around and Mark was like, "This sucks." Like he was so upset, and I was like, "Oh no, Mark's having a shitty time."
That, by the way, I loved how you said, "Oh no." You're like, "Oh no."
Yes, dude. Because
Dude,
I
must
was
have looked
like,
super
I
disappointed.
I selfishly want to have a good time, but I always have a good time when my friends are having a good time, and so I always look to see if Mark is having a good time, and Mark's usually having a fucking blast. He's laughing. He comes out of the house, right? I saw you on that last Poltergeist run, and this dude looked deflated. I've never
Dude, it
seen
was
Mark
totally
so upset at the
diminishing
event
returns.
before. He was like, "You, dude, it looked like I had shit in your cereal. I looked like the trucker did coming out of the bathroom. That's how you look, man. You were like, you lumbered out, And I was like, this dude is not having a good time.
Dude, you know what it was? It was the diminishing returns of the house in combination with those stupid ass kids.
Yep, and the cell
Oh,
phones. That was a bad run. There was like a 2 hour run where it was nothing but phones and kids, and we had both had it. But thankfully, the night redeemed itself after that.
yeah.
Thank Christ. All right, Mark. Now I feel
It's
like we've gotten rid of the bottom three. We've gotten rid of
yeah,
the
thank
crap.
God.
Let's get to the good shit. Now, since I went on the last one, maybe we'll let you unveil, Mark. What's your number 6?
Oh shit, here's where it gets interesting because now
Yes.
we do not know what matches with what. All right, so I'm going to go with Terrifier. And
Oh, wow.
I'm not, by the way, this is not to say that it's terrible. Although in my notes I have here, the wetness brings it down a bit because, dude, it was so gross. If you, by the way, here's the thing: if you get in this conga line, there's this one section where it's just like giant plastic barrels,
Oh, these like
like those
bleach
Breaking
barrels.
Bad ones. Yeah.
Yes.
And if we got stuck in a conga line, fortunately, Matt and I were not far behind, but these people got stuck and they were just. So Art comes out with like a Tommy gun. He starts firing, and then water sprays out of these barrels. If you get stuck in that hallway, you're getting soaked. It feels so gross, and it's cold in there. And then also, they didn't use plastic that has like some oleophobic coating to it. It was all canvasy. So when
Yes.
you push through it, you just feel all this gross wetness. Ugh.
It was just like
I'm not a fan of like the
wet
getting
rags. It was
sprayed
like
with
pushing
gross
through
water.
wet rags to get through the Terrifier house.
Yeah,
Wait, really
and it
quick.
always has like some weird smell to it too, right?
Here's the plot. Try your luck against Art the Clown in the Terrifier funhouse. You'll witness his grotesque handiwork of torture and be exposed to the spatter of his victims. It's a whole new level of gore. That is Terrifier. There we go. That's Terrifier. That's Mark's number 6. Dude, you're right. The wetness in this house, it's not terrible. For me, the bleach barrels were bad. Dude, the bleach barrels were so bad that I started to cover my glasses because I didn't want the like wet bum water on my glasses. And I was like, I have to wear these things on my eyes to see. I cannot
It
have.
leaves a residue,
So
right?
Mark was yes, Mark was laughing at me because every time we'd go through the bleach part, I would I'm not covering my eyes, so I'm scared. I'm covering my fucking glasses so I don't get fake bleach on them. That's what. And dude,
So
every time we had to walk through the wet tarps, man, it was so disgusting. It was so fucking gross. And there's also that really wet bit at the end. And when we say wet, these are just water effects, but there's too much water in the house. There's a bit at the end, ooh, kind of similar to Jason Universe, where a vlogger is getting killed. A
Oh, that's
popular
right,
theme at
yeah.
the event, where Art kills a vlogger who's there at his funhouse. And he cuts the guy's throat, and there's this spray, this arterial spray that's supposed to hit you. And it's clearly a water jet, but it's very well hidden. So it's timed. When
And
the
it
guy
always
gets his
hits
throat
you in the
slit,
face.
it hits you right in the mouth, with your open mouth. If you're breathing through your mouth, if you have a sinus issue, or if you're laughing or gasping, get ready, because that's going to hit you in the mouth.
You're getting the flu from whatever fucking.
That's
Oh,
right.
by the way, we should also say that apparently this must be an issue because when we went our RIP tour, they were asking if people wanted ponchos for the Terrifier house.
Yes, that's right. That's right. They offered us
So
ponchos.
that is the level of wetness.
And
It's like going to the fucking Niagara Falls and you're on the Maid of the Mist and they're like, "Would you like a poncho?"
But to our credit, I'm going to say this. Mark and I did not take the ponchos because we
Yeah.
are not giant pussies. We were
We
like,
got
no.
pneumonia later.
That's right. We got pneumonia like men. We didn't go through with ponchos. That bullshitty family got ponchos. We didn't.
Fucking losers. God, that family sucked.
Family sucked the balls.
Dopey dad that like held everyone up with
But I
his
do want to
dumb
say, too,
shit.
like what Mark is saying, even if a house is at number 6, now from this point, in my opinion, from 6 to 1, these are all standout houses. And the fact that
Yeah.
any house is higher up on this list or lower is A, an opinion thing, but B, it's not a knock on sets or scenic or actors. All of these houses fucking bring it. It's just that there are 5 other houses Mark prefers.
Yeah.
The same for my number 6. That's all.
Well, you know what this reminds me of? It's sort of like when you see those Olympic races and they're just winning by nanoseconds.
Yes.
That's what these are. Like any one of these, for me, at least I don't want to speak for you, but personally, I think like any one of these could have hit number one.
100%.
It's just like my inability to draw a conclusion, and I just had to be like, you know what, this is the list.
I'm gonna say,
Otherwise,
can
I
I
would
say
have.
something? I'm surprised Terrifier though came in at number 6 for you. I thought it would have been a little higher. I am a little shocked.
Well, I'm gonna say not to like. I know I was making fun of the wetness, but I have to say that in this house, the scare actors were awesome. Even if you got stuck in a conga line, they didn't just stand around. They interacted with you. They messed
Yes.
with you. I'd say some of the best scare actors were in the Terrifier house because they were all
100%.
fantastic. And
100%.
the one thing I
Stay tuned
did,
for the awards that may
yeah,
be revealed later.
I would say that the one thing that never got me in all the runs, and it was just a timing thing, was I never got the impact of the Santa at the end.
Yes, I
So I
got the
think it didn't
Santa.
finish strong for me on this one, which kind of popped it down a little bit.
I see. Okay, I got the Santa the first run we did. In fact, there's a whole Christmas section that's based around Terrifier 3. I got that whole section perfect on the first run. I never got it again. Every time we went through that Christmas section, there was no Santa art. And then at the end, when Santa art does the slit throat, I would like just breeze right past it because I didn't feel like getting sprayed in the mouth. All right. My number six. My number six, I have a feeling, is going to surprise Mark then.
Ooh.
Mark, my number six is Monstros 3, The Ghosts of Latin America.
Oh, wow.
Now, people
Really?
who have listened to this show and listened to the HHNs from previous years, you know that Monstros 1 was my favorite number one house of that year. It's still one of my favorite haunted houses I've ever experienced in my life. It was pure magic. And you know that it was a crushing disappointment when we went through Monstros 2 last year and it sucked the balls, right?
Yeah, that was terrible.
I'm happy to
Oh,
report that Monstros 3 does finish strong in that it splits the diff. It doesn't shit the bed like part 2. However, does it rise to the heights of 1? Maybe in another year that wasn't so good. Had we not had these 6
yeah.
banger houses, Monstros 3 might have been my number 1. But unfortunately, it's competing against 5 houses that, to me, this is the way I looked at it with my top 6. For me, if somebody held out, I'll make it up, whatever's in my top 3 that I won't reveal yet, and Monsters 3, and they said, which house would you want to go to? I'd pick one of my top 3. That's how I picked it. It was like, how much of an urge do I have to repeat this house? And that counted towards how high you were on my list. And frankly, I was good with the amount of runs I had. I think Monsters 3 is good. It redeemed itself from 2. We had some great creature design, dude. I love that. I think her name is Melona or La Melona.
Oh, La Llorona? Is it?
Not La Llorona. It's here it is. Here, I'll give you the plot. One wails, one bites, one beguiles. La Llorona, La Muelona, and La Ciguanaba await in the dark. 3 legends La Muerte wants you to meet, but you'll wish you never did. I'm talking about, I believe, La Muelona, who was like the horse face lady. I think
Oh,
that's who
okay. Yeah, I
I'm
know
talking
from.
about.
Is she
Because
kind
there
of
was
toward
some.
the end and she jumps out
Yes,
a
she
couple of
would be
times?
like fucking jabbing her shit out. I actually thought La
There's like
Llorona was the
4
tamest
of them
one.
almost.
Yeah, I thought La Llorona was the tamest one. I did love all the La Llorona puppets. There are these giant fucking La Lloronas who are like devouring children. One of
Dude,
them
it's
is like,
super disturbing
it's
too,
so
I thought.
disturbing. Yes, one of the effects is like really disturbing. Where is it
Yeah.
the one that's swallowing the kid in the bed and she's
Yeah,
screaming?
and it's they have an actual actor. They're just going and then the other one is
Yes.
like the one pulling the kid from the bed and it's
Yes.
dangling. Dude, lots of dead kids in this one. They didn't pull punches on this one
No.
because that La Llorona section where it's like I think this is one of the reasons why I like it because it gets very indoorsy and then halfway through it breaks it and then you get like a stream of water and there's like these 2 children and it looks real.
Yes.
There's like 2 kids floating in the water just face
Yes.
down and it kind of gives you a nice I kind of appreciate that. I don't mind that she doesn't come out and scare you. It's more of like, all right, here's your little breather, but it's
Yes. You
still a
have a
disturbing
moment.
scene.
She gives
Yeah,
you a show moment almost. So you
yeah,
experience the tragedy, then you get to see her attack, right?
yeah. And I think it makes it more disturbing because nothing happens. It's sort of like when you play one of those horror video games and like nothing's happening to you, but for some reason there's still this underlying terror. It kind of gives you that, you're expecting something to happen,
Yeah.
but then all the scares are saved for when you enter that next segment, and which is like probably the one of the most disturbing parts of the park I've seen.
Yeah, agreed. And I think La Llorona is cool. I know she's been in a few other houses that I haven't seen. I know she got her own house a couple years ago.
Oh,
I
really?
think to coincide with the release of that La Llorona movie. But I thought Monstros 3 was cool. Again, I think this is a good house. I'm not knocking it as a number six. There's just five houses I would prefer to do more. I felt like the 3 or 4 runs I had on this were more than enough. I was happy because I think at even one point we were like, I was like, should we do Monstros 3 again? And you were like, I'm afraid to do it again because we had such a good run that what if we get a
Yeah.
shitty run? And I was like, say no more, dude. I don't I don't want to return.
I would say like, actually, could I pitch a category for later really quick?
Yeah, dude, do it. Do it
Should
up.
we do like most consistent house?
That's a great idea. Yes.
I
I'm
won't
gonna I'm
reveal
gonna add
anything.
that right now. I'm gonna add that right now. Most consistent house. There you go. All right, done. It's on the superlatives, Mark.
Hell yeah! But I feel as though it was like we did get like a good amount of scares in that one, which
Yes.
especially toward the end. I think it's like it's a very strong house, and
Yeah, it
but like
wasn't
you
short
said,
on
it's like
scares.
yeah. But I mean, I'm telling you, I struggled with these six. It's just like, oh God, I don't even,
Yeah.
like I could have easily swapped Terrifier out with like any of the other ones and bumped that one up too,
And there was
because
a
that was
cool
really goddamn good
there was a
too.
cool moment too. I believe it's Leslie Guanaba with the big like smile. She's all fangy and weird looking. There was a great moment where she came out at the end and fucked with you right when you left. That really got me, and she got me
Yeah,
all 3 times I went through. Um,
that and the Elvis guy.
oh, yeah, yeah. We'll talk about him, but yeah, um, different maze, different maze. But yeah, Monstros 3, good stuff. It's my number six. I think to me the strength here was the creature design, and they actually had scares. Because at this point, again, the bottom three lacked scares. Now I'm also adding
Yeah.
scares, and I got some good scares in this house.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Since Monstros was your favorite, um, do you think this redeemed the series?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it redeemed it. I don't think it brought it back to the heights of its glory days from Monstros 1, but thank God it didn't end on that wet fart of
Yeah.
Monstros 2, because Monstros 2 was disappointing. It was a fucking
So
colossal disappointment.
So if they announce a four, you'll probably be excited for it. It won't be like, oh God, it might be a poop
Honestly,
shoot.
I'm going to tell you, I don't want them to. I feel like we've had Monstros, we've done a trilogy, let it sleep. Like, give it a few years and then give us like a prequel or some shit. Like, do something different with it if you want to bring it back and bring back La Muerte and everything. Also, too,
Yeah.
I should say really quick, this house all 3 years has had one of my favorite facades, which is the mortuary where La Muerte roams, and he's sort of like there's a black
Yeah, it's
cat on a
cool.
tombstone, and
Yeah.
you've
And
got
it
this
moves
like
around.
cool yeah, he's like a Grim Reaper guy, and he kind of talks to you as you're walking in, and it's been
There's like smoke
cool.
effects.
Yes, and it's been cool to see the evolution of that facade all 3 years because slowly the mortuary has changed. So each year you go back and you can see it's aged more. There are less plants, or there are flowers on this grave and not on this one. Like, there are cool differences that I appreciate. Monsters 3 is good, dude. It's good. It just happens to be my number six. That's all.
Yeah. No,
All right. Did
that's
we
fine.
reveal your number six yet?
I did Terrifier.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right. So here we go. Number five,
Ooh.
dude. The top five. We're getting
Oh
fucking
shit. This
serious.
is getting crazy.
All right. I'll roll out with my five then. My number five is Fallout.
Oh,
It's my
interesting.
number five. Let me give you the plot here. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA. Escape from the vaults to the wasteland and confront the formidable bounty hunter, the Ghoul. We're talking about Fallout. I'm going to just say this. Again, the only reason this is not higher is because This is a strong maze, in my opinion, and it was very fun. And I would say, great idea on the most consistent house, because I would put this up for the running on that, because every run I had in Fallout was largely the same. I think there was only one, there was like one key component missing from one single run. Every other
Yeah.
Fallout run was so fun. I have to say, if there's an award for most fun house, this could be in the running too for me. Mark and I had the best time in Fallout. Like it's all the TV show. If you're a game person for Fallout, you might be disappointed. If you loved the TV show like we did, dude, there were just so many good moments. And I'm not like somebody who remembers every single crucial bit from the series, but like seeing the ghoul, seeing the giant fucking radiated bear, this giant bear puppet
Dude,
would
that was
shoot out.
fucking awesome.
Oh my god, that fucking bear got me every time, and the ghoul got me every time. There's a bit where you're like walking through this outdoor area, and all of a sudden he comes out and shoots his gun in the air, dude. Fucking scared the shit out of me, dude. Every time.
It's so loud.
It's
dude.
so fucking loud. And then there's a bit too where you walk through the Super Duper Mart, which I believe is the name of their convenience store, and there's all these ghouls and zombies coming out of the coolers. Every fucking time those things would get me. Every time.
It looks like a legit store too. But
It
the other
does,
cool thing,
yeah.
what's cool about that segment, and unlike the coffins, it feels even like closer, and it always
Yes.
feels like someone's gonna touch you or grab you.
Yeah. Even
Not in
too,
an
not
inappropriate
just
way.
in the Super Duper Mart, but also like when you're getting close to the vault dwellers and shit, they get really close.
Yeah. They one of them stepped on I tripped one, remember? Because they run, there's like there's like two curtains on each side of the vault, and there's like a woman, and she charges back and forth, and I
Oh
accidentally
yes.
turned.
Oh no, right? Yes, dude.
But they do get close, which is kind of
They
cool.
get super close, especially those guys, the like, I don't know, I call them Ravagers, but that's from Guardians of the Galaxy. The fucking guys with the armor and they're holding pipes and shit. They just look like post-apocalyptic people. Those guys
Oh,
get really close.
And remember that one, the big dude next to the what was that mech thing called?
Oh,
Forgot
yes.
the name of the suit.
The giant mech suit, yes.
There's that one walkthrough where the guy just like got in your face. And
Yes!
dude, this guy is huge.
The guy,
Massive guy.
yes, I think in the show his name was Maximus, but that guy, every other time we went through, that guy had no interaction with anybody in line. He would just talk to the mech, and it's this huge mech. It's a huge animatronic puppet mech that stands like 9 foot tall. It's moving
it's
and
really
talking,
cool.
and then the radiated bear comes out to attack you. But that guy is there trying to shoot at the bear. Well, the one time I went through, he was not shooting at the bear. He just got in my face. All of a sudden.
Dude, that was so weird. I was like, I thought he's on our side.
Yes. Really fun, dude. Again, I loved it because it really did kind of like the Death Valley maze from last year. This really
Yeah.
puts you in the wasteland, and I felt it. Like, and those mazes are always fun. I don't know, man. I just thought this was a great mix of monster effects, scares, and also too, if I could be honest, the sets. The sets were beautiful to walk through. These vaults feel fully
Yeah.
realized and huge. And the best part is, this maze never had a wait. You could basically walk into it
That
anytime.
was crazy.
I know, it's baffling.
I thought it would be the most crowded one just because of the success of the show.
Yes,
But
agreed.
it was like super. It was like what, maybe 5? Even the express lines. were
Dude, I don't
short,
even know
think.
if we waited 5 minutes. It may have said 5 minutes, but we walked right in. Every
Yeah, we
time,
just
Mark and I,
went right in.
like, that's a tip for you. If you're at the event, just go to the Fallout. Just because you probably just walk right in.
You can go infinite times if you want.
Dude,
By the way, another.
I should have gotten the cram fries and walked through with the cram fries.
It gets sprayed.
Maybe I offer that guy some cram fries. He won't be such a dick to me next time. That's what I do.
By the way, that bear was so goddamn cool.
It
And I
looks
think
great.
that our first run through, it popped out at like the correct moment, which
Yes.
was like
yes.
awesome timing for that.
I also want to
Shit.
say this
It's
might have been
huge.
the house, one of the houses we went through the most. A, because of the low weight, but B, Mark and I would just have the best time, be like, fuck it, want to go through Fallout again? And we would. There was one where we went through Fallout, left, and went right back through. Want to go again? Yeah, sure, fuck it.
Well, we should let the audience know that Matt and I we're very kind to each other. We alternate
Yes.
who goes first.
Oh,
And
I like that you made it
that's
a
one of those
kind
fun times
thing.
where you can.
That's funny. Because you know how I view it? Every year, Mark and I do this thing where it's like, okay, you take turns. And you'd be like, all right, asshole, you're going in this house first. Because I don't want to see what's in there yet. You go. Mark made it a kind thing. Like, he lets me go. Yes. Sometimes I, and then we wind up going like, well, who went last time? Who went first last time? And then, so that way, by the time you're doing multiple runs on a house, you could be like, wait a minute, did you go first in this one? So basically, you always get the experience of going first at every house.
It's really fun,
It's
actually.
great.
But
Yeah, it's a good tradition.
that house, I have to say, had like it's another house, kind of like Monstros, where it has like a nice mixture of like, and it proves that they can do indoor and outdoor in a small space because you go out to that desert scape where you exit the vault and there's like the like those pockmarked walls from like
Oh
bullets and
yeah.
explosions and shit, and it does
Yes.
feel like the lighting is really nice. It kind of feels like it's like dusk, and
Yes.
that's where that ghoul guy comes out.
He fucking scares the shit out of me. He fucking comes out and he shoots his gun in the air like, ha! He did it to me and he fucking got me. The second time he did it to me, I know he recognized me. He was like, haha, bitch, I got you. Boom. Walton Goggins fucking got me twice.
The funny thing is, like, I remember the second time you were like, and I was expecting it too.
Yes, I was expecting it. I was fully ready for him and he still fucking got me, that guy. I'll tell you this. There are more scares in Fallout than there are in Poltergeist. Hands down, I
Or
would say.
Jason.
Or Jason. I'm just saying Fallout's good. I think some people are probably like, really, Fallout's good? It is good. It's good.
No, it's fucking awesome. Yeah,
Mark,
I 100% agree.
what's your number 5?
My 5 is, and my notes for this are it's really fun. So there's really no downside for it. I do have maybe one other note, and it was the Wyatt 6. There's one room that smells so fucking foul. It's gross. Dude, then you know what's crazy? When I went to San Diego walking through a shanty town, I was like, that's the fucking smell. It smelled the same. This room is gross. If you're eating or getting a drink, don't go to this house. Wait a little bit. It smells so god. Oh,
Wait, we should say
it lends to the atmosphere.
this is the Wyatt Six. The house is called the Horrors of the Wyatt Six from WWE. Go head to head with the Wyatt Six as they lure you through the ominous doorway to their shadowy realm. You're about to meet your match. The
Yeah,
Wyatt
this one was
Six.
super fun. You know what the funny thing is? I actually had not because well maybe because I used to be into WWE, but because I think it had that logo at the top, I was like, this possibly could be just branding and just total bullshit.
Be like, yeah,
Dude, it was like so much better than I expected. It was really fun. Scare actors were cool. The scenes, that giant rabbit dude that
yes,
kept
the
getting
Rabbit
us.
Man who comes out.
That guy's
You
fucking
can tell that we're
massive.
not wrestling fans. Wrestling fans, if you're listening, you know who each of these characters are. We don't know. But so that's why we're describing them like a Rabbit Man, Vulture Face. There was a pig guy that
Big
comes
hat
out
guy.
at one point. Yes. Girl doll, broken doll. A real doll. It's just a blow up doll that they wheel out.
By the way, see, the sad part is like you go through Wyatt 6, and then you're like, what the fuck happened to that Jason house? Like
Yes,
you could
again.
easily interchange and put Jason in that environment. It would have been freaking awesome.
Yes, 100%, dude. I agree. Also, too, ironically, when I watch the Jason movies, I feel like Jason is this big, lumbering, towering presence. But in the house, he's like a normal sized guy. If you go to the Wyatt Six, all the actors that probably should have been playing Jason are in the Wyatt Six playing the Wyatt Six characters because these motherfuckers are huge. They're like professional wrestlers. They're like 6, 7 foot tall, 300-pound dudes that are running at you full speed, and it's fucking scary, dude. It is really
Dude,
scary.
I thought that felt like that rabbit guy was like almost a foot and a half taller than me.
You
'Cause
almost
I was
said a
like,
hair taller.
look-
Haha, puns! He was a hair taller than me. Yeah. We should also say, by the way, this was the house that is in the most inconvenient location. Every other house I would say is very easy to get to. I think this was the other reason that I think maybe this house had lower wait times. It's near, if you know Universal Studios, it's on the lower lot. It's by Jurassic World. It's way in the back. I mean, dude, it feels like you're walking to a parking lot. It feels like wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what it feels like? You know when you have that one relative that just lives in like rural America and you have to take these weird back roads and you always
You're like,
get
is
lost?
this safe?
Yeah, it felt like it's like all it felt so out of the way. It felt like we were going off campus
Dude,
to a degree. It was like,
you took
shit,
the
that was
back
far.
roads to get to your cousin, and then you ran into the trucker in San Diego. Mark,
I blew up the bathroom.
I blew up the bathroom and I saw a rabbit man with a sledgehammer. Yeah, we should say the fucking rabbit guy, by the way, has a sledgehammer. A fucking sledgehammer. He's huge.
I think that was like the biggest dude I've seen in a scare
Yeah.
house.
I think,
It's like,
yeah,
how is
there
this
are
guy
some.
not clipping his head on things?
I was like, are these people actual wrestlers? They might be. Did they just get like, you know how WWE has like tiers of talent? Maybe they were like, these D-list wrestlers aren't doing anything. Get them to HHN so they can portray the Wyatt Six.
It's like the emerging actors.
Yes, yes.
They did a great job though. That house was like set design wise, super cool.
Yeah,
That was like one of the neatest houses, I think.
I agree. You will hear more about it from me a bit later on.
Ooh.
Mark, any other stuff you want to say about the Wyatt Six?
No, I think that's it for now.
All
I
right,
bet we'll
dude.
talk about it later though.
My number 4 is, are you ready? Scarecrow, music by Slash.
Oh.
So again, like Poltergeist, this is another legendary maze in HHN history. Everybody knows Scarecrow, or it's called Scarecrow the Reaping. So a lot of people who go to the event every year who were a little disappointed that it was returning, especially because this Scarecrow maze is being repeated in Vegas at Horrors Unleashed. So you can access the maze anytime, all year round, if you're in Las Vegas. So a lot of people were like, well, if the house is already there in Vegas, why aren't we getting a new house, something different, right? One of the scare zones we have is the murder of crows with all the crow people on stilts. We were like, why aren't the crows getting a house? I remember Mark, even in line for Scarecrow, was like, oh, I wonder if the crow people are going to show up in this. And I was like, that's a genius idea.
Awesome.
Spoiler alert, they do. One crow guy does show up. But the way that they made it slightly different was that they let Slash from Guns N' Roses do the score, and it's called Scarecrow, music by Slash. That's why Slash is at the event. That's why we went to the Slash bar, because Slash is involved with Scarecrow. Although, the only Slash song I heard was while we were waiting in line. Once you're in the house, I didn't hear shit except Scarecrow screaming at me, is what I got.
Yeah, but this dumb bastard is charging like $60 for a record.
Oh, yes, dude. Oh, wait, I have a picture of that on one of these. Wait, because I wanted to show people. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, that's
if YouTube people, you can go ahead and go to our video, and I'll show you the vinyl cover. This was a big get in the merch department, by the way. It was people trying to score this Slash Scarecrow vinyl. Yes.
Oh, wow.
65. Mark, you should have bought one and resold it, dude. You should have resold it. See? Dude, Scarecrow, music by Slash. I'm here to tell you people, it's awesome. Mark, you talked about most consistent house. This would definitely be in the running for me for most consistent house. Mark and I had
awesome.
I won't speak for Mark. I had great runs through this house every time I went. The scare actors in this house, to me, are on another level of relentless, where they are fucking targeting every person that goes through this house. To me, this was the anti-Poltergeist house. It lived up to the hype and then some. I've been told this house is scary. I've been told this house is like a big deal and has these amazing sets and moments. And they were right, dude. There was a bit when Mark and I first went through this house on our first run, it was still daylight outside because we got into the park early. We did early access. And there's a bit where there is some light leak in some of the rooms because just the way they're built with their roofs and stuff. which to me almost made it scarier because by the time you get to the end of the Scarecrow maze and it's dark and you're going through these cornfields, it was so pitch black. Our eyes didn't have time to adjust. And I couldn't see an inch in front of my face. I was following Mark and I had completely lost him. And it
Dude,
was,
I thought I was gonna walk into a wall.
dude, it was one of the most times, it was one of the most scary times of the event I've ever had because in the pitch black, I lost Mark and I could hear scarecrows coming. Like, and when I tell you, dude, I was like, this is how the Space Marines felt in Aliens. You know when the aliens are on the roof, on the ceiling, and they start fucking moving? That's how I felt, dude. Hearing those scarecrows in the dark, I could close my eyes and still hear the sound. And that's what it was like. And
You've been traumatized.
dude, and that trauma is so delicious. I had a blast. I love being scared at these events, and that was one of the most scared times I've ever had. This house is fucking great. Like,
Yeah, it's amazing.
there are these set pieces, these scenics, where you're like, first you're going through like these old Dust Bowl houses, and you can hear there's like a tornado happening outside, and the radio's telling you to gotta get out of here. And then like you hear this family's dead, right? This lady's got corn cobs jammed into her eye sockets and shit. You're like, who did this? And then you go through, and these fucking scarecrows are popping through windows. Scarecrows who have come to life. One of my favorite subgenre of least used monsters in horror movies.
Yeah.
We talked about this. Scarecrows. There need to be more scarecrow movies. They should make a movie out of this maze.
I'm surprised they haven't.
Living scarecrows that come after you is fucking horrifying. There's also a bit
Especially
later.
those tall cornfields.
Yes. Well, even before you get to the cornfields, there's a bit where you're going through these like slats, these like wooden slats on either side, and it gets very claustrophobic. I was very conscious of them on both sides, and you can see these fuckers through the slats of the wooden boards looking at you, man. It's horrifying. Then they're busting out. Oh my god, Jesus.
Remember, like, the second time we went through, we didn't even know that one of those slat walls opened, and they were
Yes,
just like,
there was one guy that came running. Yes, dude, and then you go through the cornfield, which is really crazy. And if you go at night, your eyes will have had time to adjust, so you'll actually see. To me, it was beautiful to look at, but it was like I missed it when it was like nothing.
pitch black. Yeah.
But it was great because you could see scarecrows up on their stalks or whatever. But then there was like the one crow guy on stilts who really
at the
came
end
for me
Yeah,
every fucking
he's like
time.
hiding in that corner too,
Yes.
so you can't even see him.
This to me is just like a perfect collision of concept, scare actors, effects, scenic, like all of it comes together. Like this was almost for a while, dude. This was my top house. And
I think at the start of the event, I remember we're like number one.
I don't know how, and I really I came through with some other ones and reasons, which I'll say when, but yeah, it's my number 4. I fucking loved it.
The detail, and I think this is this the house that had that old lady that looked fucking real?
Yes, there's a dummy that looks real. She's in
that
the
was
corn
crazy.
cob room.
Sometimes they don't look real, and then you just
Yes.
see. I thought it was actually an old lady just sitting there, and she was gonna pop up,
Waiting
at us,
to fucking scare you.
but it's just a dummy.
Dude, that is one of the best, most realistic dummies I've ever seen.
Yeah, whoever made that, kudos to that person. That's like, it looks like they stole it out of a wax museum.
Yeah, or they clearly modeled it after someone they knew, like, this is my grandma, and they had, like, intimate, close pictures of her so they could get the detail, the contouring of her face
No, it's
perfectly.
like a corn cob in her eyes.
Yeah. Jam a corn cob in your mouth, grandma. Dust Bowl, bitch. That's actually a great burn. If you fucking get over on somebody, like you cut somebody off on the road, you should flip them off and go, Dust Bowl, bitch.
I'm totally going to remember that when I'm driving my pickup truck around in Southern California.
Mark, what is your number 4?
All right, so number 4 for me is Monstros 3. I
Oh!
popped it up to 4, yeah.
Holy
In my notes,
shit.
I have it as though it's such a cool experience because not only do you have all those crazy scares at the end, but it opens up into that scare zone that Matt and I were talking about. So it's essentially like, it feels like the longest house because you go through it and then you exit into the scare zone, and that's already huge. Like you can go left or right and you'll run into scare actors. So it's also like, you because when you exit the house, you kind of feels like, oh, because like now I have a reprieve, nothing's gonna scare me. But this one, you exit, and like it was fun to see when we were hanging out there later on that as people were exiting Monstros 3, all these other witches would just come out and bombard them. So you would
Yeah.
just hear people screaming at the
It
exit,
really did feel
and
like
it
an
just made it
extension
a
of the house.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of they kind of like found, you see witches in like in fields, and it's like I think of the Puritan movies that we get, like I guess The Witch. So it kind of they meld really well together because you're going out of these cornfields and then all these goddamn witches come at you. Very cool.
Yeah,
And I
dude.
guess we've already talked about Monstros 3, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. That ending was
I'm
all that
surprised
always
to see
got
it so
me.
high on your list.
I honestly didn't think it would
I
be
think
there
it's
either,
awesome
but
that you have it so
it
high.
has at that the last part of that maze always got me. And I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, dude. They really
It was
came for
just
you in
like,
that house too in
yeah, it
Monstros.
was like a
Yeah.
total assault, which was
Is this
awesome.
your, let me ask you, is this your favorite of the Monstros houses?
That first one was really good.
Yeah, that one's tough to beat. It's
But
tough.
this one is like, it's just a little bit under that first time we went. And maybe it's because the first time we went, it was like, it was just such a new thing that maybe that pushes it up.
Yeah.
But they're both really well done. I think it's just a little bit of an edge. But
So
this
then
one
for
was like,
you
I
then,
felt like it
would you
redeemed it.
say they redeemed themselves from part
Oh,
two?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because two was like a total pooper.
Two was a
This
number
one was
two.
like, yeah. I totally agree. Two was just like, especially running off the high of that first one,
Yeah.
to have something that disappointing happen. So this was kind of like you feel elated that they came back and brought it,
Yes,
and they did an
I feel
amazing
like they
job.
knew. They must have known or were aware of the reaction to Monstros 2,
Oh yeah.
where they were like, we got to step our shit up.
Plus, it was like the character designs and the puppets and just the
Yes.
set design was really cool.
Yeah, agreed.
Very memorable, actually. So
Agreed.
yeah. But like I said, I don't know. These are getting like these are all too close.
Oh yeah. All right, dude, we're approaching top 3.
Oh
Top 3
shit.
shit, Mark. Mark, what's your number 3, dude? What is your number 3 right now?
I think we may start separating here. I
Oh
feel as
yeah.
though you're gonna put this one a lot higher, but I'm putting Five Nights at Freddy at 3.
Oh shit.
And I'll be honest, it was super fun house. Probably the most cohesive set design out of all the houses. It didn't feel like you were in any sort of alleyways or transition areas. It was like once you got in the house, it felt like you were in the basement of the video game or the movie. And you were just navigating through. You got to see the security scene. All the animatronics looked insanely good. And there was something, I don't know why, there was something really cinematic about the use of strobing here because some of these puppets would be in these really dark alleyways and you just got that strobe light. And for some reason, to me, it made it feel so real
Yeah.
when these things would come out on those rails, and they also had like puppeteers in the shadows, like manipulating the arms. It felt very real, and they kept it dark, which I really liked. And then every time we went through, this is one of those houses that got better because every time we went through, Matt and I would notice like new scare actors. There'd be more security guards at the beginning, like a kid. Dude, there was this one of the best scares was this kid in a freaking arcade cart. I didn't even know that there was a kid there, and it just like, and then by
Yeah,
the way, the
they
scare
hit
actor
him
was
perfectly.
tiny.
They hit him
Yeah, it was
perfectly because
amazing.
you're in
Yeah,
an arcade scene. You're walking and you're seeing, and it sets you up perfectly. There are 3 arcade cabinets. You're like, I'm looking at the games. I'm like, oh, they're all
yeah, exactly.
my nerdy ass. I'm like, what games are they? I want to look, and it's like, okay, that's fake. That's a fake game. So by the time you're coming around on the 3rd arcade game, you're used to just seeing arcade games that have been unplugged, and this little fucker comes out of the side of the cabinet to scare the shit out of you.
And
And
I
it,
think we had the
oh,
benefit of the first time going through that kid didn't pop out. So I don't even think at least I wasn't even aware that that was going to happen at
yeah,
all.
yeah, same.
Yeah,
Um,
but the thing is, like, honestly could have put any of these number one, just so people know. It was a very well made house, great
Yeah.
scares, awesome set design, really good scare actors. I mean, just the way they navigate the crowd through it. This house was one of the ones that never felt like a conga line because it was actually, it felt like the biggest
I
house, I
think they
think.
were, I want to say they were pulsing people through this because I never had a bad, I would say, well, I won't reveal my other three, but I will say this was one of the houses I never had a bad run on. Every run was
Yeah.
spectacular. And that
And
goes
there's
a
plenty
long
to
way.
see too.
Yeah.
Like the set decoration's crazy. That security room, there's like, little tchotchkes on the tables. There, you could tell there was a card game going on.
Yes.
There's like coins and stuff. It's very cool. Very well done.
Yeah, dude. All right. Well, you'll be hearing me talk about it in a bit. But right now, my number three.
Oh
I think
yeah.
Mark, you're probably going to be shocked then because my number three is Terrifier.
Oh
Um,
damn.
we talked a lot about this already, so I won't belabor the point too much. I will just tell you why I have it so high. The amount of scare actor interactions in this house to me is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. It felt like every scene that we walked through, the actors, it was like we were in the show with them. Like they were performing for us. There were never actors that were passive or actors that were waiting. Even if like you missed a scare, there was another actor waiting to interact with you. And all of the Art the Clowns in the houses and outside too, there's a roaming Art the Clown that you'll see walking around. They are phenomenal. Like they have studied David Howard Thornton's performance so closely. They can mimic that guy. Like if I was David Howard Thornton, I would be afraid for my life because any of these motherfuckers could show up now and portray him flawlessly because they embody the character so well. I would literally hire a team of security if I was that dude because like that's the only way you're going to keep this job. Um, these Art the Clown actors are phenomenal, and I also just love. This was one of those. Not to sound like this guy, but like you've heard me say this before. When I go to Universal Studios' mantra is feel like you're riding the movies, feel like you're in the movies. And some of the, even though these are all like movie IP based houses, sometimes they don't feel, they feel like a haunted house. I don't feel like I'm in the movie. This Terrifier house, and this is the highest compliment I can give, it made me feel like I was in the Terrifier movies. Just
Wow, that's
because
cool.
of the art actors walking through the scenes which have been painstakingly recreated, that disgusting bathroom covered in shit. You have the clown cafe from part two, even the Christmas part that I only got one decent turn in. It all feels very true to the Terrifier universe, and it blends reality so well that you truly feel like you're in the Terrifier universe. And here's the best part. To boot, for me, it's fun. I was having fun. I was always laughing. The scares are not repetitive. They are building for comedy. Art is performing for you. When he's torturing the girl with the salt and the bleach, he's then trying to put it on you. Like it's all a show.
That's
So to me,
hilarious.
Terrifier deserves its spot as number three. This is one of my favorite houses of the year, and for a brief moment was my number one. Number three.
Wow, that's high praise. But oh, here's the other thing. To your point about it being a very unique house, think probably only the only house where they dressed up as one of the guides with the flashlight.
Oh yes.
And initially, I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out. But that was a brilliant usage of that. And after coming for 5 years, you figured like, geez, someone should have done that already.
Yes.
And I guess this is the first house that actually went ahead and did
The
it. And it's
misdirect
funny because he's
of
like,
that guy. Yes.
yeah, it's awesome. It's done so well. And it's in a dark, and it's actually in one of the areas where you expect them to be, which is great. And the guy's totally playing that character as Art,
Yes.
and it's fucking awesome.
The only thing that bumped it down, it was at one. The only thing that bumped it down for me was the
The
water. I hate
wetness.
the water, the wetness. It was so gross. Not in a fun way. The water effects bumped it down for me, but I had to give it
Yeah, I
three
know.
just because oh, and we should mention, and you might hear about this later, to me, I'll just give this away. I think it had the best facade of the event. I think this is the facade to beat. But it all came together as an amazing Terrifier experience. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
Art the Clown, dude. This is Art the Clown's year, I think.
Well,
Mark,
the other
what's
cool thing
oh,
is,
sorry, go ahead.
oh, just one last quick thing. The other cool thing about it too is like because you had the wandering arts in just random sections of the park, before you even get to the house, you're already psyched to be in it because they really, like one of the guys had Matt look in his bag.
Oh yeah.
And then remember that they were just doing such unique and very different. They weren't just doing scares. They were actually like it was almost like a street musician, magician coming up to you, except it's a total prank. It was
Yes.
fantastic, and that
He's there
really
just to
set
fuck
up
with
that
you.
house to be cool. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, Art the Clown caught me and we were Mark and I were walking and he stopped me and he pointed at his trash bag, like, look in my trash bag. And then I asked him, you want me to look in your trash bag? And he nodded. And then when I went to look, he took his fucking clown horn out and he honked me in the face and he's like, well, like, get the fuck out of here. It was really funny.
that was amazing. It
Such
was
a
so
good little
cool.
interaction. Yeah. All right, Mark, what's your number three? What do you got?
Oh crap!
What's your number three?
Oh, I did
Oh, sorry.
Five Nights
You
at
did
Freddy's.
Five Nights. What's your number two?
Oh, here we go.
Here we
I
go.
know it's scarecrows, and it's mainly because of that first experience we had where it was like pitch black. And I felt like after walking through that, and I was like, man, it'd be great if they just turned the lights down on all these other houses because it's
Wow.
really like that sense of dread of it being dark, and then you hear the crows above you, and they even shit on you, which I thought was funny. They
Yeah,
have
that
like
is
these
really
little water
funny.
droplets, and then like the other thing too is like you can look up in the rafters and you kind of see all these crows there, but when it was really dark, you couldn't tell that they weren't really moving that much. And that's like you said, the sound design is so good. You just hear everything around you, and just that the set design of like the Dust Bowl era and having the newspapers up, except they're not just newspapers, they also tell a story. So, as far as storytelling with set is concerned, you get like a really cool storyline as you're progressing through the house. And I thought that was really neat. And the scares were just top notch, especially like I said, that first one I feel as though was one of the most memorable experiences I've had at HHN
Yeah.
just because of like that the sun blindness, the excitement, not having too many people in there. I felt as though this is kind of like the purest experience of a horror house that you want. It was like Matt and I had like free range of it. It was dark enough to be like
Yeah.
terrified of what was coming around the next corner. The house was just packed with details and little things. Something surprising happened every time, but like based on that first experience, it was just probably one of the best things I've experienced with you on HHN out of these 5 years.
Did
So,
it feel like on that first run, especially during Scarecrow, did it feel like we were the only two people in that house? Because it kind of felt that
yes.
way to me.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did. It felt like when we went to Knott's and we had like the first walkthrough of that movie theater
Oh yeah, Cinema
house, and it
Slasher.
was just
Yeah.
so much fun. Yeah. This was like the exact same feeling I got. And it was just like, you just feel like a kid in a candy shop and you're like giddy with like, yeah, this is like, I can't believe it. I got the best walkthrough. And it's okay if it only happens once. It's just such a good experience. It'll be memorable for years.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%. I love hearing you talk about it because you're absolutely right too. I forgot about that bit with the newspapers. You're right. Storytelling through set design because you're really getting the era. You're understanding the
Yeah.
threat, what's going on. And then before you know it, scarecrows, man.
Yeah. It lives up to the hype. It's like seeing stuff and experiencing stuff like that really pushed. Like as soon as we went to Jason, we were like, "Oh, what a poop hole!"
I know, like you have that level of detail and immersion in a set. Right, and then you go to Jason and there's a fucking empty Volkswagen Bug just sitting. Just sitting. Like, what the fuck? Who missed this, dude? It's just one of those things.
You know what's funny? Just not to keep talking about Jason, but that the experiences we had with our top 6 houses made Jason feel like it was actually some rehash of something. That one felt so old, like they
It did.
hadn't
It did.
even updated, and it's like maybe like
You're
40
right.
years
It felt
old.
like an HHN from a bygone era. Where
Yeah.
it was like very clear that like this is the way these modern houses work and this is why this doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Jason
I
Universe
totally
felt like
agree.
the equivalent of a home haunt where a lady's trying to get you
Yeah.
to feel the eyeballs and it's like a bowl of grapes. You're like, really, Jason Voorhees?
Yeah.
That's what this is? Okay. Mark, anything else to add about
Oh no.
Scarecrow, your number two? Okay.
I think I've gushed about it enough.
My number two, I'm going to reveal. Mark's going to be shocked by this. My number two is The Horrors of the Wyatt Six.
Oh shit.
I am
I
not.
actually thought this would be your number one.
It's my number two. It was jockeying for one. This Terrifier and my number one, which if you've been paying attention, you all now know what it is. But this was jockeying for my number one spot for a while. In fact, it was there yesterday, and I bumped it just at the very last second.
Oh,
I
interesting.
I'm not a wrestling fan. I like old school WWF is what I remember. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Andre the
Steroid
Giant,
era.
Iron Sheik. Yeah, Mark and I talked about this at the park. We were like, remember the old days of WWF, WWE? I know very little. I'm
Yes,
here to
same
tell
here.
you that's the power of this house and the power of good storytelling. You don't have to have done the homework. You don't have to know you don't have to follow WWE or even know who the Wyatt Six are. This house introduces you to them and they stand apart from any wrestling. Like, this is a horror house. This is not a wrestling house. And by the way, I would have been fine with a wrestling house. I love luchador monsters. Like, monsters and wrestling go together. I would have totally geeked out for that and had a blast. I'm glad it was this. This felt like almost like the combination of two of my favorite things. Rob Zombie movies. She got this
Dude, I
level of like
knew it. Ah, shit, I
backwoods
just
white trash, right? But then you've also got the mystical and the unknown. What's fantastical about horror, where you have characters who can teleport, or maybe they're founded in some magic, or maybe there's something going on with the spirits in this lantern. Like, I kind of fell in love with the Wyatt Six. And also, too, that's just as a concept. I fell in love with the house because every run of this house, I never had a bad run. Every run of this house, and we talked about the scare actors before, these like sizable dudes, 7 foot tall wrestler guys. They were coming for me every time. Didn't matter whatever corner I turned. Those fucking guys were on me straight away. There was one. I think our last run, I got a crazy triple scare in this house from like the bunny guy, this guy with the top hat who I believe is named Uncle Howdy, and the vulture man. They all came out at once and scared the bejesus out of me. The fucking
Is
hog
that
guy
that
got
long
me.
hallway
Yes, it's where you
where
briefly
the
you
rabbit
leave.
guy's at the end? And he's like,
No. That's the mirror hallway. There's an area right before you enter that where it looks like you're walking outside again briefly. You're entering another shack. And it's this moment where one of them is supposed to come out to scare you. All three of them
oh,
got me. And then they return to their spaces. I love everything about this. Character design, sets. The only weak point for me, and the reason it's not number one, is because it does have that room that smells like a homeless person, which I did not love. It's this room where they're cooking people, and it smells like a rancid ass. I call it the mud
it
butt
totally looks
room,
like that.
the swamp ass room. I don't like that room, but that's the only thing that is dragging it down from number one, because this was almost
Swamp-ass room.
my number one, dude. This was almost my number one. I loved this house. I got so much fun. Every time I feel like I was laughing, I was giddy. Every scare actor, I feel like I had a target on my back. They were all coming for me in this house. And I had a blast, dude. Wyatt Six fucking rules.
By the way, I 100% agree with you, because it also felt like, going back to your Rob Zombie point, which I knew you were going to bring up, it felt like House of a Thousand Corpses. You could easily make
Yes.
this a House of a Thousand Corpses
100%.
maze, and it would have worked just as well. It definitely has that. You're right. It has that Rob Zombie feel in like a really good
The
way.
Hill People vibes, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome, and it has like it's got that grittiness to it, and it feels like a throwback. And then the introduction of it being that front porch with the empty rocking chair, and there's like
Yes.
just a lantern on on the
That's where you
side.
get
It's
that, like,
really cool.
backwoods mysticism. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, the spirits are there. It's cool, man.
And basically, and to your point of it being so far out, you know what's cool about it? Like that outside area aside from the music cue playing, it was like really quiet.
Yeah.
So it was a cool
Yes.
setup to go inside this cabin. It was really well
It
done.
sets the scene because it makes you kind of quiet down to hear what's going on, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you're very aware of your surroundings. It sets the stage beautifully for that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, dude. It's my
Damn,
number
that is a
two.
good placement for it.
It's my number two.
Yeah.
All right, people. This is the moment you have been waiting for. Mark, what is your number one house of HHN 2025?
It's gonna have to be Fallout.
I knew you
I
were going number one
freaking
on
love
this.
that place. I love that we went through 2 times in a row and it was just as good. It was like very strong, great sets. Even I think they're called like the Pip Boys. They're like these little the bracelets
Oh,
that
yeah,
the
yeah.
shelter people wear. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the games and all that stuff. I only watch like the TV show, so sorry if I butcher everything. But just seeing that huge mech next to, I mean, that's such a cool set piece. Giant mech, massive mutant bear that pops out of a cave, and you see all the drool tendrils, and they're done so well.
Yes.
Like it was a dope house. I just loved going. The cool thing is it's like it's a bright house, but it's not in a don't worry, it's not in a bad way. The fact that they can still scare you in those bright areas is a testament to how well this house is done. And
Yeah.
it's like the costuming is really good. There's a ton of variety. You actually get to see all the characters. Unlike Jason, you get to see all the characters that you want to see, and they scare the crap out of you, especially the ghoul with the gun. But it's just extremely well done, and it seems like I seem based. If you watch the other episodes of our HHN recaps, you'll probably find that I like these post-apocalyptic houses a lot,
Yeah, was
like the
Death Valley your
Exterminators
number one
and
last year?
Death Valley.
Yeah.
So I guess I have a tendency to like these type of environments. And the other thing too is it really sets itself apart because you like Jason, Poltergeist, they're like, cabin, house, haunted house. So they're kind of like expectations of a maze. This one is just like really cool. It's like Fallout Shelter, outside of Fallout Shelter. So it kind of like stands out as being very different because the environment is so interesting. Like I love post-apocalyptic stuff, and they captured that really well. So
I,
that's why it's my number one.
I knew it was going to be your number one. Also, too, because what Mark didn't tell you. Okay, remember how I told that sad story where Mark was sad after Poltergeist? It was a sad memory. It was a very tragic memory for me to see my good buddy so upset at our favorite event. I will never forget what you did, Poltergeist, you sons of bitches. But Mark, whenever Mark left the Fallout house, I can tell you, he had a big goddamn smile on his face every single time. There was not a bad run for Mark. And this is how I knew it was going to be his number one. When we walked through the house the first time and he goes, "Want to go again?" I was like, well, that's his number one for the year right there. Right there is his number one.
The instant go back.
Let me ask you, did you struggle at all with this, or was this always number one for you?
You know what's crazy? I think when we first got there, it was definitely I knew Scarecrows and Fallout would be jockeying for number one. But as we kept going through Fallout, I was like, okay, this is clearly my number one. And that's not a slight on, like, I know we keep saying this, but it's definitely not a slight on all these other houses. Like,
Oh, for sure.
the other five are top notch. It's just like, for some reason, it's like, I guess it's maybe a combination of good luck, but also just incredible design and like.
I'm just imagining you like toying with putting it at number two, and then you go, no, 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 and then you erase it and write it back in at number one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
I feel as though 1 and 9 were my easiest choices, and then everything else was just this crisis of consciousness.
Dude, I, the only easy thing for me was 8 and 9. I struggled with every other choice, and that includes my number one, which is no
yes.
surprise if you've been paying attention. My number one house of HHN 2025 is Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm just as surprised as you people at home because I'm old. I'm 42. I don't care about these games. I hated this movie. This house is so good, it's making me want to rewatch the first movie, and it's made me excited for the second movie, which I will definitely be watching now. This is my house of the year. Um,
Wow.
Mark told you about my experience inside with all the scares, so I won't belabor that point. But I will say this again: if La Muerte gave me a choice and he said you can only go through one of these houses again, and he handed me tickets for my top three, I would pick Five Nights at Freddy's. It was the
Damn.
house that I had the best time in, and it edged out why it's six for two reasons. One, no ass smell room. And two, I was completely floored by the craft of this house. These are animatronics from the Jim Henson Creature Shop, from the movie. They're puppeteered well, and as Mark said, the way that they're lit and strobed, it's real. It looks real, but it's heightened. It's a weird thing to know that something is tactile and in front of your face, but know that it is impossible. Like, it breaks your brain to see it for a second. And that
Yeah.
experience to me is what Horror Nights is all about. It's the possibility of the horror movie being real and being so fun that you like. Had this house not had such a colossal weight, and we had so many other houses we wanted to do, I would have gone through it 10 more times. I think we went through this one 4 times total. I loved every
Yeah.
run.
Which is a lot, actually, for this type of event, I feel.
100%.
Like,
And
we
also,
got some
too,
really good runs.
Mark was right. We caught new details and scares and added actors every run that we did. Every effect worked. There were like, and I don't even know these characters. I know that Freddy is the bear. That's what I know. And I know there's a bird, a bunny rabbit, and a fox, and a fucking cupcake. And let me tell you, it sounds stupid. I was prepared when we went to the event to hate this house. I thought, to me, if you would have asked Matt Gilbert 3 weeks ago, he would have said this would have been the number 9 house, because he was like, this is going to be stupid. It's for children. Let me tell you, they pulsed us through this house. We moved, and even when there was a conga line on one of the runs, somehow all the effects and scares were perfectly tailored and got me every time. It's not just the animatronics. There are dead kids that pop out and frighten you. There are security guards. There are moments with like smaller bits with like the little cupcake where he shoots out of the hole, or you see a hint of a puppet as it reaches through with just an arm. All
Or
these
that
things.
fridge door that's just banging.
Yes, all these things are super effective. Like, it does what the movie couldn't do. Remember, my complaint with the movie was, I was like, I thought this was going to be a jump scare-a-thon. I wasn't scared at all. There were no jumps. It's the most basic thing you could do. If you want jump scares, if you just want the physical sensation of getting the scare out of the way and then laughing, this is the house. Every scene is a jump scare. I think that's what it was. It was the tenacity of every scare being perfectly orchestrated in every room. It was like, you're never going to miss a scare. And then you add the level of set design, and then the level of animatronics, and the level of craftsmanship, and you're like, I've been fully transported. Like, I walked into a world where the animatronics at this pizza restaurant took over. It was fucking amazing, dude. I loved it. That's why it's my number 1 house. I would go again in a second, and if you're at the event, get an express pass, but if you cannot, wait in the line. It's worth it.
And the other thing, too, is it was like, to your point about the animatronics, you know, sometimes where they're like, and we're going to have this house. And they showed the original animatronics before the show. So you kind
Yes.
of, we had expectation before we even came to this house. So they did not skimp on it. They didn't pare it down at all. They looked almost as detailed as those production ones, which was
Yes.
crazy.
It's like
Because
screen accurate.
there's so many of them too. It wasn't just like, if you're worried about only seeing like 1 or 2 things, no, you see like everything. And the other thing too is like, they also have like the disassembled one in that, like, I guess it's
Oh,
like some
yes.
sort of like garage or something, but you get to
Yes.
see, and there's like little you can see gears turning around inside the
Yeah, and the
face.
pistons and the
It's
springs
cool.
moving.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It was
man.
like so detailed. I didn't, maybe all the money for Jason went to
Went
this
here.
house, because every section of it was just fully detailed and populated with things to look at.
That just tells you how poor Jason was with like inanimate objects can be puppeteered and be scarier than a guy in a mask. That's fucking crazy to me. That's crazy, but here we are. There you
And
go.
also more animatronics than there were Jasons.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Jason,
That
you've heard it here
is
first, folks.
insane.
Jason more robotic than actual robots. Mark, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our rankings, our personal rankings for HHN Hollywood. Mark, you want to give out some awards now?
Yeah, let's do some awards.
All
Yeah.
right, let's start. Let's start with your new category, most consistent
Ooh,
house. Mark, what would you give most
all right.
consistent house to?
I'm gonna have to. I know we just talked about it, but I have to put Five Nights at Freddy there.
Agreed.
Initially, I was gonna do like it was gonna be not. I think I was gonna initially put Fallout, but just based on the set design, things to look at, and scare actors, amount of surprises, I think Five Nights at Freddy's 100% wins hands down.
I agree. Five Nights at Freddy's, our winner for most consistent house. Mark, here we go. What about scariest house? What was the scariest house for you?
Oh, you know what I put? I'm pretty sure you'll guess, but I put Scarecrows. And
Dude,
I put in
Scarecrow!
parentheses first run.
Scarecrow is also on my list for scariest house. It truly was.
Yeah.
If you're talking just scares, nothing else, stripping everything else away, you want to talk about where were we the most scared? What got us the most? Scarecrow, easily. Easily.
I think I legit jumped at one of them.
Yeah, dude. That's a fucking scary house, man. It's great, isn't it?
I love that one. Damn.
All right, here we go. Here's a hardball. Best
Ooh.
scenic / set design. So what do you give this to?
Oh man. Okay. I'll be honest. I kind of put two down. I put
I did
Five
that
Nights at
sometimes too.
Freddy's and Fallout. Just
Wow.
because they were like those were gorgeous. Like that felt like nothing was half-assed in both of those houses. And I would
agree.
I was almost gonna put Scarecrows in there, but I was like, if this is down to one, I think it's gonna be wow, that's
You
another
can't be
win
like
for
those
Five
movies that
Nights.
sweep all the technical Oscars. They keep winning. Well, yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be that asshole because I gave it to Scarecrow. Best scenic set design, I give to Scarecrow.
That's a good one, yeah.
Mark, here's one individual for you, tailored to you. What was your best scare of the event? What was the scare? Could be from any house, any scene, any moment. What was the scare that
I
got you the best?
I put down Monstros and then I also put down the Scare Zone.
Oh, the brujas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always felt as though Monstros and the Brujas was like they kind of worked hand in hand. So for me, that was I think the best scares happened there. They got me because of that mist, and when we were like shooting with their phones, those witches just came out of like nowhere,
Yes.
and
It
that
was like
was
because the
pretty
phones
fucking
came out,
awesome.
they were coming for us. It's like they didn't want
Yeah.
documentation of the witch kind on camera. Um, for me, this is one where I have two. I have a two-way tie. Best scare of the event. I'm gonna give a little love to Poltergeist, the coffin room in Poltergeist, especially on my first run. I'm gonna give the best scare of the event to. Second best scare of the event, my triple scare in Horrors of the Wyatt Six, where all three giant wrestler mutant people
That's awesome.
descended upon me as if I had tried to take a picture of them coming out of the bathroom. Here's one I think will be easy. We might even have the same one. Best facade. When we say facade, this is the best exterior of the house. Best facade of the event.
I actually put down Terrifier 3 and Scarecrows, but Terrifier 3 looked awesome with that smoke coming off the
Yeah.
lettering. And then you had Art wandering around the front making fun of people.
Yeah,
That one was really good.
I gave best facade to Terrifier. I thought it just bar none stood out. I mean, if you're standing in line, not a bad house to be standing in line at outside because you get to look at this incredible work of this facade. And Mark's right, all the steam coming out of the top of that scythe with that Grim Reaper. Like they
It's so
recreated
cool.
that exact from the movie, and it looks awesome.
Oh, shit.
I got this one for you. Best scare actors, meaning doesn't have to just be performance, but best scare actors. Bring in the scares. Who were the best scare actors at the event?
You know what? I think we're probably going to match on this one. I put Art. I said most variety, personality, and interaction with the crowd. I think he, for me, won hands down just because, like, we would see him, and like I keep saying this, but it was so cool to just be walking to another section of the park where you don't expect him to be, and he's there. He was even we went for dinner, and he was just hanging around in the dining hall, like messing with people, like putting salt and bleach on them. It was so
Trying to
much
hit us
fun.
with
I
that
think,
fucking piano
yeah,
leg or whatever that
yeah.
was.
I think every time I saw him and I knew we were going to have an interaction, it just made me smile because it was always super fun.
Agreed. I gave it to Terrifier. I gave it to all the Art the Clowns, including the ones roaming the park. For
Well
exactly
deserved.
those reasons. I won't even belabor the point. Biggest surprise of the event, Mark. What was your biggest surprise? To me,
But
far and away, it was Five Nights at Freddy's.
oh,
Because I
really?
expected it to suck, and it delivered as my number one house of the year. So I had to give it best surprise for me.
You know what? I put Wyatt six, and then I
Oh,
put the smell.
the ass smell room. Most surprising.
That I think was the one of the most visceral things I've ever felt at HHN. It was just like, oh,
Here's a
it
Sophie's
smells
choice.
so
If
bad.
you could get them to remove only one, bad smells or water effects, which do you pick?
Oh shit,
You can
that's a
only
good one.
choose one. I'm going to tell
I'm
you.
gonna go water effects.
I would also
I'd
go
go.
water. I would rather go through the shit smelling ass room than go through the water effects and have to protect my glasses.
Here's the one thing about that smell, though. I don't know if this happened to you, but I never could get used to it. You know, sometimes you get it's like, okay, now I'm
Yes.
a little bit used to it. It's been like the fourth time I've been. Every single time, it was so pungent. I could not get used to it. It smelled terrible.
Also, the last time we
Oh,
went through on the second night, it felt like it had somehow gotten more potent. I wasn't sure how that happened. It was like they threw a little more smell on the fire to really get it fucking turned up. And I was like, it was fine before. No more, no more.
by the way, is it for you? Is it one of those smells that if you think about it, you can smell it again?
Hmm. Yes. Also, too, I smelled it in my mustache through the rest of the evening, so that was great. As a person with a lot of facial hair, that was really cool. I couldn't imagine if you were like a hairy dude, like if you had like a lot of arm hair and back hair and shit. I'm sure you went home smelling like fucking homeless guy ass because of that house.
Oh my god!
100%, dude. And I think this is an easy one. This to me is an easy giveaway, but biggest disappointment of the event. Come on, we know it's Jason Universe.
Yeah, Jason. I also put
The
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist was. It started so strong, and then it just became a huge disappointment.
We definitely took a huge shit on Jason this
We
episode.
did. Oh well, he's fine. Fuck him.
There, we did have a better experience with Jason a lot later, though,
That's
when we were
true.
just like watching the movies and kind
That
of
was
making
really
fun of
fun.
them.
That last night in
Yeah.
LA, Mark and I wound up watching in the hotel. We wound up watching like a triple feature of like Friday the 13th, Friday the
Yeah.
13th Part 2, and then Part 3 all in a row. And it was fucking brilliant. And it was
That was
better than
really
that
fun.
house could ever be.
Yeah. I'm so glad that actually made me like Jason again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank God.
I don't hate
I
him
used to love
anymore.
this guy.
Mark, any final thoughts on HHN 2025, dude? It was a good year.
I'm going to say this is like, I'm so glad my good buddy Matt found this event, found the RIP tour, did all this amazing planning, came with like the
Oh, yeah.
fucking perfect itinerary. This is one of the best times I've ever had. Every year it just keeps getting better and better. I think we're planning to go to Florida
Yeah,
for
dude.
like
Oh, yeah.
if for like a big number event that'll be happening there. So I'm totally looking forward to it. Every single year this keeps getting better and better and better.
Fuck
And it's
yes.
usually this it's rare for something like that to happen, but and it's crazy that it does. So I cannot wait to hang out with Matt at the next one. This one had like the most fun run throughs we had. Even though we complained about some things about so that shows how good this event was. Like even with like the annoying
Yes.
kids, the dumb bloggers, it was still like the best HHN we've been to. And like I said, after 5 years, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. It truly, I would agree with that. I think this, every year the event gets better and better, and I think this was the best one yet. Like, hands down, I had the best time. we're making good memories, but we're having so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Florida. I'm already counting down, dude, to Orlando 2026. Get ready.
Yeah, I know, and that's the funny thing. As soon as we do this episode, every time I'm like, all right, it's time to start planning.
That's right. The countdown begins, dude.
It's crazy how much fun this event is, though. They get the atmosphere down. Like,
Yes.
once you go through those gates, you know you're in for a good time. It's so cool. And it's great to experience with someone as cool as my buddy Matt.
Oh, thanks,
Because
man.
it's like, we do the merch tour, we eat like gross food. It's just like, it's so much fun. There's so
We
much
never went to
cool
Toothsomes.
shit
We
happening.
missed Toothsomes
Yeah,
this
I
year.
know.
I had
Oh,
people asking if we were going to do the Toothsomes. I was like, we missed it.